channel, All Things Melisha, where I discuss a lot about what's going on in the political world and also topics that pertain to everyday life. If you are subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if you see a video that you like, to give your girl a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below because I want to get your thoughts on what I'm discussing. Share the video, and if you're new to my channel, you can do all those things, and don't forget to subscribe if interested. So I want to come on here today and talk about what we don't really hear about in the liberal, lying, bought and paid for media, which is black people speaking unfavorably about that old Democrat Party while speaking favorably of President Trump. So let's get into it, you guys. This is a clip of a everyday black American who's going to give her take on what it's like being a black Democrat voter in 2026.
I'm trying to come up with the right analogy to describe black Democrat voters, but this is the only thing that I can come up with. Being a black Democrat voter is like being a black single mom going back to her baby daddy. You go back thinking things are going to be different, only for you to get the same results every damn time. And then what happens? You get fucked. That's what the Democrat Party does to black people. They make you feel cheap, used. They leave you with a false sense of hope. They leave you hanging. And there's just no surety. You just don't know where you stand. You thinking that you're gonna get something out of the deal, but you just left empty, high and dry. Being a black Democrat sucks.
So pretty much what she's saying, you guys, is it's like being sold a dream that never becomes a reality for the most part. The civil rights movement was in the 1960s, and we are about 60 plus years post that era, and we still are dealing with the same things from a party that claims to be for black Americans. Yeah, make it make sense, you guys. A lot of people are waking up to the lies of the Democrats for the most part. You still have a lot of people that are asleep, but many people are waking up to this party. You know, they claim that Trump was a racist and had a lot of black people, because we're so sensitive and emotional when we hear the word racist, just knowing our history, then immediately we are just, automatically opposed to the person. A lot of people didn't even do research before you even, you know, believe what's being said. Do research to see if what's being said is true. A racist is a person that don't want to see you come up economically. And that will be the Democrat Party based off of their policies, not their personality. You know, I feel like all races have prejudices about other races and even maybe their own. But in order to be a true racist, you have to be a person that is working against another race, against their progression. And that will be the Liberal Party. But let's get into this, you guys. This is a woman by the name of Jessica Jackson in Chicago that's been speaking out, been very vocal at Chicago town hall meetings and things, speaking out about what's going on in Chicago politically. Someone posted a sign saying black people are hating on immigrants. As you know, this is something that President Trump has been working to get rid of: illegal immigrants, not immigrants, because he is for immigration, but legal immigration. So, of course, the media, just wants to make it about him trying to get rid of people, but they always fail to leave out that key word, illegal, to come into a country and claim citizenship when you didn't come in the correct way. But let's hear what she had to say about that.
You don't hang no signs about black people hating on immigrants, because black people ain't got no reason to hate on no immigrants.
I don't know, but the immigrants got
We
no reason to
everything
hate on
y'all
us.
are, and there's some. Let me tell you something. You get them signs down. Anytime that Alderman Lawson and Silverstein and what's that other?
Cesar
Can sit
Lopez.
up here and talk
Lopez.
about how they should get a hate crime bill because swastikas was in Ziploc bags in their community. They hung this in our community. We want it off the polls. We want that to be the beginning of a hate crime. And that organization, which is a white liberal organization, like in the words of Malcolm X, who told us what? That the white liberal is the worst enemy to the black man. Yes. And it is coming up in here acting like y'all representing some social justice.
Say that,
but
sister.
all along,
Say
all
that.
you're doing is trying to use black people
Say
to
that.
find a reason to make some money.
Say
Let me
that.
tell y'all something over there. We're done. The Democratic Party is done. You ain't gonna mess with us like
Y'all
this
gonna
no more.
abuse us.
So I'm telling you what I'm
They
telling
get to
you.
abuse the black
Trump
American.
gonna come in here and gonna clean it up. I'm telling you, tomorrow has a righteous heart. You leave the Democratic Party. Do just like RFK Jr. Just do like that Tulsa lady. You better get up out the Democratic Party. Save yourself. Save your families. Save your dignity. Save your jobs and save your seat. Because if y'all don't, we coming for your seats. We ain't taking this no more. We ain't taking no disrespect from a bunch of people who have broken into the country and now have completely broke the city, have completely broke the country, have completely disgraced the United States of America. America is a disgrace. And for us, oh my God, what a solution. You give us a fake, black, cackling hen of a candidate. With a vice president that's talking about he want to put tampons in the boys' bathroom.
Hold up, you guys. I had to pause on that part. She said, for a solution, you give us a fake black cackling hen, talking about Kamala Harris for the most part. Like, you know, she came out, she's Indian, that's what she claimed, but when they chose her without holding a primary, they ran her as being a black American because they know they pander to black Americans. We put one of y'all in a high position, so that means we're for you, but they don't tell you who was going to be running her. What color was going to be the person behind her giving her her orders. And that's why I say racism is used to keep us divided, because even with Barack Obama, they like to put him up as being the black messiah because in our lifetime, this is the first time that we've seen the image of a black person in a high position, but he didn't do anything to help black people. But who was behind him? And she said, for a solution, you give us a fake black cackling hen and a white man for a vice president, because they was going to choose Tim Walz. They call him Tampon Tim because he was talking about putting tampons in boys' bathrooms.
Ain't nobody do this. The number one function of a president is to be the commander-in-chief. You tell me anything about a Kamala Harris that looked like she could protect this country after y'all have sat up here and they get her overridden with a bunch of illegals. Democrats. Y'all have sat up here and put America's hands in all kind of wars. And you telling me a tampon man that ran from duty don't even know what his rule was. Kamala Harris, who don't know what race she is, gonna protect this country? The devil is a lie. Y'all better keep some signs down. Yeah, I know that.
She know that, you guys. It's interesting though. This is who they were telling us that was going to help the country. Oh, we're fighting for democracy and we need to do something about the economy that went down under Biden. And Kamala was Biden's vice president by choice, not by the American people. Okay, because she ran against Biden back in 2020 and was one of the first candidates out, but they chose her as a woman of color to appeal to black people. And she reportedly raised in 2024, the election, $1 billion in campaign funds and came out 20 million in debt, and then have the nerve here recently to go to gas stations like Quick Trip and talk about affordability, as if you would have done any better when you get $1 billion in campaign funds and come out 20 million in debt. Not about color, you guys. It's about competence. And she was, thank God, not made president. Very incompetent. Let's hear what Charlemagne the God had to say on black voters' frustration with the Democrats. Talking to Joy Reid, the liberal activist.
When people are calling you, and specifically black people, what are they saying they feel they have not gotten out of having voted consistently for Democrats and for Joe Biden?
Upward mobility. Simple as that. Like, people want security, and a lot of that security is financial. Like, it's simple and plain. And it's just been, whether it was President Obama, whether it was, all the way back to Clinton to now Joe Biden, they feel like the Democratic Party has never promised that. And it's like right now the problem I'm having with my listeners, what am I supposed to tell them? Like, what am I supposed to tell them other than, look, man, Donald Trump is a fascist. You may think things can't get worse, but they absolutely positively can. But if they feel like, I've already lived through a Trump presidency. I lived through Reagan. How much worse can that get? Like, what do I tell them? They're not afraid of just telling them to go out and vote because of fear anymore.
When people are...
Why don't you tell them the truth, Charlemagne? Why don't you tell them that he's not a fascist? Did we see any fascist behavior during Trump's first term? No, we didn't. And the same people that were claiming that Trump was a threat against democracy, although we're a constitutional republic, saying that he was a dictator and a fascist, were the same people who mandated a new vaccine and threatened unemployment if we didn't get it. The same party that was also behind mandating insurance during the Obama administration and threatening fines if we didn't get it. But I've never seen Trump mandate anything on the public. So it's interesting how they always try to use these terms to describe people, to get the public to go against that person. But that person is more for the people than they are when you look at the policies. They try to focus on personality, focus on how a person is, but they're taking the attention away from what's most important, which is policies. Politics is about policies, not personality, not what they want to claim a person is, a person that they had in the media forever and a day before he became a politician as being an admirable man. Then all of a sudden when he becomes a Republican politician, he's everything wrong. Yeah. But let's just look at another clip. This is Trump getting love in the hood. This is another thing you don't see in the liberal media.
See everybody.
How you doing, Trump?
I'm doing good.
I love you, man.
What's up, Trump?
I love you.
One love.
Everybody be straight. See everybody.
How you doing, Trump?
I'm doing good.
I love
Just showing love. That's all, showing love. We don't see that in the media. We see a whole bunch of hate for a man that is actually fighting to keep this country free of socialism and communism, which is what we were coming under during the former corrupt senile president and the Obama administration. And people fail to see that. You have people coming after your Second Amendment rights, your First Amendment rights, censoring people on social media, trying to limit what information gets out. Okay. That's pretty much leaning towards communism. And that's something that we as a country are not prepared to live through. And you have a man that is a billionaire that's fighting to keep us the freedoms that they were trying to take away from us, fighting for us to have those freedoms and continue to have them. And then you get the liberal media spewing lies saying that he's doing the opposite. And remember when they was talking about how he wasn't a successful businessman, a billionaire, not a successful businessman because he had several failed businesses according to them and he had to file for bankruptcy? Well, let's hear what Dame Dash, who was a CEO of a record company, a very popular record company called Rockefeller, who was partners with Jay-Z back in the days. Let's see what he had to say about Donald Trump as a businessman, speaking to Charlemagne the God on The Breakfast Club.
Problem with filing is black people don't file because they don't understand it. Do you know how many times Donald Trump filed?
What?
Yeah. So then why?
But he's known as a terrible businessman. But no, he's not.
He's the president.
Yeah, but sure, but he still was known as a terrible businessman, actually.
And see how he comes, he's a terrible businessman. Where did he hear that from? The lying media. Just like in the previous clip, he's talking about what am I supposed to tell people outside if he's a fascist? Where did you hear that from? The lying media. So you're just going with everything that the media is saying instead of doing your due diligence as a reporter, which is to look into what these people are saying, seeing if it has any credibility. You know how the media love to fact check people. and claim misinformation and disinformation and conspiracy theories on people that are actually given the truth. Okay? And real journalism is about seeking for truth, not who I favor, not who I'm told to favor, but what's right and what's wrong, and putting it out there for what it is. You could tell he's a parrot.
A con man.
Do you know how confidently dumb you sound? You're saying it's bad that he went bankrupt 6 times. He's a billionaire and he's the president, and you still
a
knocking.
terrible businessman and con artist.
Are you known as a good businessman?
I don't know.
Okay, well, you make a lot of money?
No.
You just now said, let's just go back to how ridiculous you are. The president filed for bankruptcy 8 times, still a billionaire. He's saying he's a bad businessman. You're just not that smart.
Okay.
And you have to acknowledge that. And you know why? You're not seeing the world. You know what happens when you have to go someplace? You're laughing. You know what happens when you have to go someplace every day at 4 in the morning? You can't go nowhere. You got to be here every day. You've been 15 years. You've missed the whole world. You don't know what you're talking about. And you're saying it confidently. And you're in an algorithm where people actually believe you. Problem with filing is...
That's something, you guys, and it's true. It's like everything that these people say about him is what they've heard from the liberal media. He's a failed businessman. He's a dictator. He's a threat to democracy. He abuses women. He cheats on his tax returns. He lies on his property valuation. He held classified information. I mean, everything that they can think of. It was just so evident that they were just really desperate to try to pin something on him to keep him from becoming president. They did it the first time when he was in office with the Russia collusion hoax, tried to claim that he colluded with the foreign government to win, and then that was found to be false. No one was ever arrested, but that's a felony to try to frame a president and use intelligence agents. And this was during the Obama administration, reportedly, who knew that the information that was brought to him by Clinton, was not factual, but still decided to run with it, reportedly to take the attention off of her 33,000 emails. Okay, but they was trying to run everything that they could. He's a failed businessman. When people in business know that many times you fail before you actually succeed. And I wouldn't call a person that has the status of a billionaire a failed or unsuccessful person, when many people will never even see a million, not alone a billion. But this is how they try to program our mind against this man. And let's hear what this man himself had to say about black voters. This was during the 2016 campaign when he came out, pretty much told black voters, what do you have to lose? You've been voting for a party that ain't did a damn thing for you since the Civil Rights Movement. Even when they signed that into law, the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act or whatever, they turned around and tried to find ways to take it away from you. What do you have to lose?
No group in America has been more harmed by Hillary Clinton's policies than African Americans. No group. No group. If Hillary Clinton's goal was to inflict pain on the African American community, she could not have done a better job. It's a disgrace. Right. Tonight, I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country who wants to see a better future. And I must tell you, come November, to be specific, the inner cities of our country have been run by the Democratic Party for more than 50 years. Their policies have produced only poverty, joblessness, failing schools, and broken homes. It's time to hold Democratic politicians accountable for what they have done to these communities. At what point do we say enough?
Yes.
Their spirit will overcome. We have a lot to overcome. Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. To those I say the following: what do you have to lose by trying something new, like Trump. What do you have to lose? Especially the fact that our jobs are being taken away from. I say it again, what do you have to lose? Look, what do you have to lose? You're living in poverty, your schools are no good, you have no jobs, 58% of your youth is unemployed. What the hell do you have to lose? To be your victory. America must reject the bigotry of Hillary Clinton, who sees communities of color only as votes, not as human beings worthy of a better future. Haven't had those victories for a long time. A victory for the African American community has given so much to this country. They fought and died in every war since the revolution. They've lifted up the conscience of our nation in the long march towards civil rights. They've sacrificed so much for the national good, yet nearly 4 in 10 African American children still live in poverty, and 58%, as I said, of young African Americans are not working. They cannot find a job.
There you go, you guys. There you go, the racist who's talking about actually helping black people, not in speech, but economically, which is what many of us have lacked. You know, like I stated before, the Democrat Party have done a hell of a job in manipulating the minds of black people. A lot of people are waking up though, okay, when you have a party that comes out every 4 years and claim to be for black people, but you see how they allow all of these foreigners and illegal immigrants to come into the country, and they're able to get benefits and set up shops in a record-breaking number of time in the black community that rarely have any ownership. Okay, and that's what we're talking about. A racist is going to racist is someone that is going to hold you down or hold you back economically. And that is the policy of the Democrat Party. That's why he said, what do you have to lose? These people came in with welfare. They come in with social programs to make you think that they are for you, but these programs have made many people dependent. Okay, well, able-bodied people just decide to just live off the government. Why should I go to work if I can get some government cheese and Section 8 housing? Get the least of the least and are content with that when there's so much more that we can have and should have as a people who claim to have been a part of building this country. So that's my thoughts on it, you guys. I would say the Democrat Party is on their last leg, and I am glad that many people are waking up to their lies, to the manipulation of the media, and seeing them for just who they are, a party of fraud and corruption. That's my thoughts on it. Give me yours in the comment section, and I'll see you later. What do you have to lose?